We will continue argument this morning in Case 11-398, the Department of Health and Human Services versus Florida. General Riley.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court, the Affordable Care Act addresses a fundamental and enduring problem in our health care system and our economy. This is an issue of market regulation, and that's how Congress looked at this problem. There is a market. Insurance is provided through a market system.
Do you think there is a market for burial services?
For burial services?
Yes.
Yes, Justice Alito, I think there is.
All right, suppose that you and I walked around downtown Washington at lunch hour and we found a couple of healthy young people and we stopped them and we said, you know what you're doing? You are financing your burial services right now because eventually you're going to die and somebody's going to have to pay for it. And if you don't have burial insurance or you haven't saved money for it, you're going to shift the cost to somebody else. Isn't that a very artificial way of talking about what somebody is doing? And if that's true, why isn't it equally artificial to say that somebody who's doing absolutely nothing about health care is financing health care services?
I think it's completely different. And the respondents agree that Congress could require that you have insurance in order to get health care or forbid health care from being provided.
Why do you define the market that broadly? Health care. It may well be that everybody needs health care sooner or later, but not everybody needs a heart transplant. Not everybody needs a liver transplant.
That's correct, Scalia, but you never know whether you're going to
Could
be
you
that
define
person.
the market? Everybody has to buy food sooner or later, so you define the market as food. Therefore, everybody's in the market. Therefore, you can make people buy broccoli.
No, it's quite different. It's quite different.
We will continue argument this afternoon in Case 11-400, Florida versus the Department of Health and Human Services. Mr. Clement.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court. The constitutionality of the Act's massive expansion of Medicaid depends on the answer to two related questions. First, is the expansion coercive? And second, does that coercion matter?
Mr. Clement, the Chief has said, I can ask this.
He doesn't always check.
As I recall your theory, it is that to determine whether something is coercive, you look to only one side, how much you're threatened with losing or offered to receive, and the other side doesn't matter. I don't think that's realistic. I think, you know, the old Jack Benny thing, your money or your life, and, you know, he says, I'm thinking. It's funny because it's no choice. You know, your life, again, it's just money. It's an easy choice, no coercion, right? Right? Now, whereas if the choice were your life or your wife's, that's a lot harder. Now, is it coercive in both situations?
Well, yes, it is.
Really?
I mean,
it's a tough choice. In the later.
I thought you were going to say this statute is your money and your life.
Yeah, well, and it is, but I mean,
which way?
I might have missed something, but both of those seem to be the
No. To say when you say you're coerced, it means you've been given an offer you can't refuse. Okay, you can't refuse your money or your life, but your life or your wife's, I could refuse that one.
Let's leave the White House.
Mr. Clement, he's not going home tonight.
Let's leave the White House. Saying it the other
I was going to say, Mrs. Clement's.
No, I'm talking about my life. I'd say, take mine, you know.
I wouldn't do that either.
Let me use that example. Forget about it.
It's enough frivolity for a while.